Middle and high school students are starting to select their classes for next year. Perhaps they already have. And our next guest is here to encourage them to consider a trade.
Well, he says there's a huge supply of jobs out there. Welcome Rusty Wise with Mr. Sparky to the show. Hello, how you doing today, sir?
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Thanks for being here, Rusty. Okay, you say that most children today aren't exposed to the trade industry, that, the high schools are set up to encourage the four-year college degree track, of course. But you say that's not necessarily where the jobs are.
No, if you look, and most of your friends or neighbors, if you ask them what they're doing, they're in the service industry. 90% of our jobs are service-oriented jobs. So in the 8th grade, we're asking the student, what do you want to do? Well, most of the guidance counselors are trained to four-year university. But we've become a service society, and that's where the jobs are.
So, Rusty, here begs the question, when should kids be exposed to hearing about trades and such?
I think in middle school, job fairs, I go in and speak to a lot of the middle schoolers and high schoolers. They need to be exposed that there's a career path in the service industry, because I have a 9th and 10th grader. In the 8th grade, they had to make a career choice in the 8th grade.
Wow.
And, in 8th grade, did you know what you wanted to
do? No, not at all.
So, we need to at least educate them, saying, electrician, plumbers, heating and air, service-oriented automotive technicians, at least tell them there's avenues for them out there.
Rusty, if someone is interested in a trade career, what should they do, no matter their age?
Contact your local community college. Go to a local business and say, hey, do you have any openings? Do an internship. Just work a week or two with a company as an intern and find out if you like to do it or not.
It's a great way to sort of be exposed to the business and see if it's something that's interesting to you, if you could picture yourself doing that every day.
Yes, a lot of students and a lot of individuals would love to work with their hands. They really would, but if they've never been exposed to it, then they would never know.
So what kind of experience should a student have for any of these type of service jobs you're talking about?
Well, as far as experience, I mean, you got to have the drive, but, a lot of times if you like working with your hands, and if you're, you could take a culinary, somebody that likes to cook, well, maybe they get burnt out on cooking, and they could get into an industry as far as a service industry if they like working with their hands. So anyone like that.
Mm-hmm. Can you talk about starting salaries and how they compare to other fields?
Most of the salaries, just like the graphic here, is $40,000 to $50,000. And as you can see, it's a much higher in that area, the trade skills, than in education or some of the other areas.
Wow. Now, talk about the kind of experience someone would need to become an apprentice or an electrician.
It would be good to go to at least a one-year community college, a diploma, associate degree. In high school, they have, by the NCCER, electrical classes. I'd like to give a shout out to the Cherryville High School class. They're watching today. So the high schools are slowly putting in classes in the high schools. And it's coming back, and I think we're behind the curve a little bit. Unfortunately, our largest trade educator industry is the prison system in America. So we have to educate our youth, get them off the streets, because crime will go down, drugs will go down, everything will go down if we start educating our youth like we need to educate them. Mm-hmm. We've really failed at educating our youth to be productive to society. So if they're productive to society, then that helps all kind of issues go away.
Totally agree. You're looking for people who want to be electricians. That's
correct. Our biggest issue we have is finding talented people. It really is. The avenue, the door is wide open in our industry, but all industries, and that's the biggest struggle that us as service industries have, is finding talented people.
Finding talented people. So if anything that he said today makes you go, I'm sort of interested in that, they should look into it, really, and consider it.
Really should. Ask your guidance counselor if you're in school. Say, hey, I like working with my hands. Is there an avenue for me? And that's what you really need to do. And it's cool to fill out your NCAA bracket. It's cool to do that, and that's an industry, and that's a needed industry, but 90% of the jobs are not in that industry. You know, that's not where it's needed. So
very good point. If you're interested in learning more, call Mr. Sparky. The number is 704-323-8006. Again, 704-323-8006. Or to apply for a job, visit sparkyjobs.com, sparkyjobs.com. Rusty Wise, thank you so much.
thank you for having me.
Yeah, great to see you.
All right. Well